Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So, today is August 10th, and I'm back here at the home base for this series, back by the banks of Charles River. It also happens to be a Monday, so I will write a newsletter, and the newsletter is likely going to be about what I'm about to share through today's dose of Rashmi. So, let's go ahead get started for today. Today's dose of Rashmi is integrated intelligence is the ability of human beings to experience life while being fully involved without any entanglements in each present moment. So, for those of you who got used to the format of me and Morgan sharing these daily doses of Rashmi as a conversation, don't worry, that is absolutely here to stay. You can expect that to be back on a regular basis. Still share the daily doses of Rashmi with Morgan, and she shares back her reflections, and we will record these on an ongoing basis. We're going with the flow. Today, when I shared this with her, what she shared back was what came to her was the difference between being very actively involved with life and being fully aware versus being very passive as if life is happening to you. And what I wanted to share was the story of my travel experience, and the details of that will be there in the newsletter. So, for the detailed blow by blow description of this, do check out the newsletter. However, based on what I was about to share and what Morgan shared back as her reflection, something struck to me. What I had shared earlier over the last 2, 3 days is this fact about my travel experience and the realization and the power of surrender, where the realization that everything that happened in terms of my travel experience. So there were 3 flights which got cancelled. I had to go through different airports in New York. Eventually ended up spending a night in New York, taking a train to Boston. There was an incident that where I had briefly misplaced my passport in the Paris airport. And then there was an incident of me being on hold for over an hour at LaGuardia airport, trying to talk to a human. No, so all of that, when you think about it on surface, anybody would say that's a horror travel story. As I've shared over the last 2 days, doses of Rashmi, I would do it all over again. I really had amazing travel experiences, and I will share more of that in the newsletter. And I also shared at the same time that this experience made me aware of the power of surrender. So now putting that together with what Morgan shared, being active and aware versus passive and unaware. So we both are huge believers in the power of surrender. However, surrender doesn't mean that you are passive. So surrender is the realization that you don't control the external circumstances. 3 flights getting cancelled, my passport being misplaced. All of that is external situation, circumstances. We do not have control over that. However, after that, what happens at each specific moment is where you being fully actively involved with life without being entangled. That is where all of these things happening to me, I was able to turn this into some amazing experiences, some amazing lessons. Now, coming specifically in the context of this series to artificial intelligence, what I gathered through this was the power of humans at the front of the customer service. And I've shared this in the past in this series that I think we are going about automating the wrong end of the customer experience. The front end of customer experience absolutely needs to be human first. If you ever been stuck in any situation where you're trying to get something resolved, I'm sure you have felt this as well. We are all desperate to get to a human being. However, right now we have created so much slop with tech and the enshittification that we have done with the technology, and we are doing more of that with AI, where getting to a human is harder and harder. However, my travel experiences reveal the power of when you do get to the human, how any complex situation, you can just navigate through that if the human is just showing up being fully human. And I'll write more about this. And that is right now a choice that we are making in terms of what do we want the future of the customer service to be. I'm all for using AI. AI should do the repeatable drudgery part. My personal AI agent, the airline's AI agent should exchange all the information so they know what are the right options that they should make the agent, whoever is answering the call, aware of all of those details. However, let the human agent at the front end do what only humans can do, show empathy towards the customer in the situation that they are in and help them figure out the best path possible using AI as a supporting tool. So that is the future of customer service that we envision, and it is a choice that we are making right now, and the choice is ours to make. Thank you.